Hey folks, just wanted to let you know that at 150 subs, we'll have another giveaway for $50 eShop cards. So please subscribe and give a thumbs up, and once we get to 150, we'll have another giveaway. Thank you. Welcome back, folks, to my review of Monster Hunter Stories 2. The version that I'm going to review is the Nintendo Switch version, as there's a PC version as well, but I didn't play that one. Will it live up to the hype? Let's find out. Let's hop to it. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is my first Stories game that I have played, and it's a joy to play, with colorful characters, interesting monsters, and a story that's, although predictable, is a fun ride. The story is about the Rathalos vanishing across the world, Rathalos being a type of monster in the Monster Hunter universe. You, the player, be it playing a male or female, travel along with a feline named Navarro who calls himself a hero. You travel the world, battle monsters, and along the way you meet some friends who might fight alongside you, all in an effort to find out why the Rathalos vanished. Now, speaking of male or female, you can customize your character. Although customization is not bad at all, it's not as deep as other games that have it. But you can still make your character look quite awesome with different hairs, the color of your armor, and skin tone, etc., etc. There's also a bunch of armors you can make from monster parts, and there's even a layering option. So if you find an armor that you like the look of it, but it becomes obsolete as you're playing the game and going on through the story, you can later on in the game find a vendor that sells a layered version, so you can transmog your current armor and make it look like a different armor. It's actually quite neat. I like it. It gives the options of having these cool armors, but maybe you find a favorite one that's very, very weak. Well, now you can still look at that armor, but without sacrificing the stats. Combat in this game is really good too. It's turn-based combat, and I like turn-based combat. As you know, I didn't like the newer Final Fantasies because they went to an action combat system. This is more up my alley. It does have quality of life features in it though. It has a fast forwarding feature. So if you're grinding, you can make it go around faster instead of just fighting slowly. It has an instant kill for monsters as well that are way below your level. So that way you don't have to sit there and grind and fight these low level monsters and drag it out. You can just instant kill it. The combat is a bit of rock, paper, scissors to it. It has like strength, tactical, and speed. And like speed, I believe, beats I'm blanking. Power, etc., etc. So as you're playing, depending on what you do to counteract the monsters that you're fighting, you can either do big damage, or you can tie and hit each other and hurt each other, or you and another fellow monster or a rider or whoever's your ally can double team them if you both win the rock, paper, scissors at the same time and can hit them with big damage. It also has special kinship moves where you and your monster can do big damage with special moves. I very much like the way combat flows. It feels really good playing, more so with the different monsters, as they're called, as you can get them. However, speaking of monsters, sort of like Pokemon, you can collect a bunch of different monsters by taking eggs from monster dens. There is also rare monsters you can get, and even rarer dens that have even more rare monsters. There's even super rare dens, though I have not seen any as of this recording, but I do know they exist because other people have posted videos about them. Once you sneak into the monster den, sometimes you'll fight monsters, sometimes you won't, but you will find a nest where there's an egg, and you can gather the eggs and look for either special rare eggs or just collect an egg. And once you do that, you sneak out. After that, you take it to a feline where he can hatch them for you. Collecting the different monsters is quite fun and enjoyable experience. You can also use some of the weaker monsters to level up some of your other monsters, your favorite monsters. I know there's a whole community dedicated to maxing out the potential for monsters out there, and there's lots of guides of how to do this. But as much as I enjoy collecting, I haven't really been able to figure out how to min-max it, but that's something that you can do. Also, the monsters that you're not using, you can also send them out in an expedition to get more crafting materials for yourself. Now, speaking of crafting, the crafting's not that bad in this game, but it's not in depth. It does serve its purpose, however, making potions and whatnot to help you on your journey. Some advice though for those playing the game for the first time: make sure you gather all the ingredients in the world as you find them. The maps of the world are quite big in the different zones, with lots of monsters you can fight and things to collect. Even some areas you can only get when you have the right monsters, like a swimming monster or a monster that can climb, or a monster that fly. So if you have the right monster for the job, you can get to where you want to go quite easily. There's also royal monsters that you can fight. These monsters are very, very, very tough, so I recommend getting your levels up as high as you can. They're no joke. They can stomp on you quite easily, but there's always a royal monster in each zone I have found. You can also find royal monsters for your collection as well, but I have yet to figure out how to do that. So if someone can figure that out, let me know in the comments below. Overall, this game is a very enjoyable experience. There's a whole lot more to this game I didn't cover, like the voiceovers. The voiceovers are quite amazing in the game. The voice acting is phenomenal. It's top notch. Even the English VO is really good. The characters are funny, the characters are witty, they're very colorful. I have not seen a bad written character in this game at all. Normally, in my reviews, I would post videos of, the character's voice, voicing and stuff like that, but I don't want to give away any of the story, because a lot of the VO is part of the story. So I decided to opt not to show that, but there's plenty of videos out there for you to check out if you want to see how the VO compares to other games. Now, as always, I don't rate games on numbers. I don't give it a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 2 or whatever, simply because my 5 out of 5 might be your 1 out of 1 or 1 out of 5, or your 1 out of 5 might be my 5 out of 5, etc. So I either give it a recommendation or a pass, or recommend bud or pass but, if that makes sense. And in this case, I would recommend this game highly. It is a very good RPG game. It has a lot of witty banter, a lot of good characters in it, very well written. The combat is very fun. The monster collection is very, very, very good. It feels like a Pokemon game without the Pokemon, if that makes sense. It also has a lot of customization for your characters, your armor, your weapons. Like I said, there's a lot that I didn't get into, like the different monster effects on the weapons. Like some monsters are weak against lightning, some monsters are weak against fire. There's just so much to this game that if I were to make a whole video dedicated to just every little bits and pieces, would be here for an hour or so. So yes, give it a try. If you can get this game on either a Nintendo Switch or if you prefer PC, I highly recommend getting it and giving it a try. It's a wonderful gem of a game that I feel should get more praise than what it does. Well, there you have it, folks. As always, if you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike, give me a dislike. Subscribe, hit that bell thing so it rings. Leave a message down below, and I hope to see y'all next time. Happy later.